In this video, I'm giving you a tour of the updated studio. This is an iPad music producer studio, and I'm going to share some of the gear, some of the updates I've made, some of the visual overhauls, and that's coming right up. Alright, so the first and most obvious thing that I've changed in here is the walls and the ceiling. The paint used to be this off color. It was like a beige-ish color. White looks way more clean, so I painted that. And then up here on the wall, I've actually hung up my ring light. Usually it's providing just a little bit. I usually keep it dimmed real low, providing just a little bit of ambient light. And then right next to my ring light is actually a painting of Miles Davis. My wife's friend actually painted this for her years ago, and I think it's dope, so it's hung up here in the studio. So going around this way, you can probably notice there's new LED lights all the way around. These are the Day Better LED lights, and I did talk about these in my Father's Day gift guide video. They're very inexpensive, around 25 bucks for 30 plus feet, which is dope. So next is my drum set. It's a Mapex kit sitting on a black rug. Nothing fancy. I got my snare drum, 3 toms. I got a ride cymbal, crash cymbal, splash, some hats. And then from there, these blinds actually are blackout blinds, which is super convenient for shooting when I don't want a lot of daylight in here. It almost completely blocks out the sunlight, which is really convenient for shooting. And then the next thing is this right here. I've got my bass guitar hanging up on the wall, my acoustic. This is actually a viola. Many of you might not know, but this is actually my main instrument. It's the viola. It's a very unique sounding instrument. It's like a violin, but it sounds much lower. It's actually tuned lower. For those of you that know classical strings, that sounds like a very dumbed down version. But I love this instrument, as well as one of my wife's trumpets. She's actually a trumpet player, and she let me have one in the studio. So the next thing, I've got a new organizer, 12-drawer organizer, basically just keeping all my stuff organized. Studio gear, cables, you know, the basic stuff, nothing fancy. And then over here, I've got a couple stands, tripod, microphone arm. And right down here is my bass amp. Shout out to Thomas, my friend Thomas, if you're watching this. Thank you for hooking me up with this amp. It has served me well. Right above that is the Alesis Recital Pro. This is the full-size 88-key weighted key keyboard. It has served me well, and it is on the inexpensive side as far as weighted key pianos go. And I have this running all the way to my iPad with this row of cables down here. A couple chairs over here in case I have people over to jam with, and that will be post-quarantine whenever that happens. So that brings us to the main attraction. This is the desk setup. The most obvious change you probably noticed is my new desk chair. This is the Habata, I believe is how you pronounce it. Habata desk chair. It is an ergonomic chair. I'm giving it a test run. We're gonna see how much I like it, how it goes. What I've noticed so far is it's pretty comfortable, but it seems maybe a little cheaply built. I will report back to you guys on what chair I decide to stick with. But this is what I'm rocking with right now. All right, next up, come over to the desk real quick. I've got the 2018 iPad Pro 12.9 inch. That's the main brain of the operation. And it's the 256 gigabyte model. Wish I had the terabyte. Next time. This is another change from the last setup tour where there was actually a monitor here on this monitor stand, and I actually changed it up because I was kind of tired of iPad's monitor support. The monitor I had wasn't actually high enough quality and not too color accurate, and I couldn't justify buying a high quality expensive monitor when iPads don't support full monitor support. So I went with actually just having the iPad itself in front of me, and it's worked out great. So what this is just actually a magnetic back attached to the same monitor arm. It is adjustable. I can move it where I need it, and I can just plop the iPad right on it, and it holds really well. And it makes it really convenient for when I want to go from here to down here on the stand for beat making in whatever program I'm using, because this is just way more sturdy. And it's not really fun to try to play something in on a screen that's vertical in front of you. Anyway, moving on from that, down below is another change. So you saw the Capcom mount that I have here, but down here, this is the Satechi backlit compact keyboard. And it's really nice, fits the aesthetic, has the same finish pretty much as my iPad and my stand. But I love it because it has function row keys, which is not really a thing. It's not a thing at all on the Magic Keyboard case. And so I've got that here. Right next to that is the Apple Magic Trackpad 2. And you might be noticing this custom dbrand skin. This is not official from dbrand, although I don't know if dbrand has this skin for the trackpad, but I just took an old dbrand skin that I had and I cut it out, fit it to the trackpad, and it works really well. So on the other side of that is my Apple Magic Mouse 2, also rocking a custom dbrand skin that I put on it myself. Works really well, fits the aesthetic. Back here, I don't know if anybody noticed this in the last tour, but this is just a little case that I also put a dbrand skin on. It's got my little adapters and stuff that I need at the ready, so that's there. On this side, my X-Key Air, my MIDI controller of choice, always on the desk or in the bag with me wherever I'm at. Right above that, my Audio-Technica ATH M50Xs. It's a mouthful, but they're dope headphones. Now officially with a headphone stand, so that's convenient. Over here, it's my Blue Spark, my microphone of choice. Really easy to just pull this out when I need to record something. There it is, and I can put it right back over here, no fuss. My monitors are the Mica monitors. All of the stuff I'm talking about will be linked in the description, so I won't waste time explaining what everything is. But I've got an Amazon Fire tablet up there, using it for scripts. My light up here. This is my main camera, the DJI Osmo Pocket, attached to an Android phone as my monitor. Right above that, normally mounted here, is my microphone that I record all my audio with for my videos, but it's actually hooked up to my iPhone, which is recording me right now. And speaking of the iPhone, there's usually a mount right here with my iPhone attached so I can get my top-down footage. This is actually a monopod, which telescopes out pretty far for when I need to get my top-down shots. Attached to that is another boom arm, and that's where the microphone goes. Right up here is the fun basket. This is the basket with all my auxiliary percussion, as well as a couple of other instruments like the song flute, classic third grade instrument. Planning to use this in a video at some point. And some tambourines, some sleigh bells, lots of stuff that's handy for when you want to get your own percussion in your songs rather than using samples. All of that's on this minimalistic desk. I've talked about this in my previous setup video, but I've got my hyperdrive USB-C hub here. Everything is running into this hub, and that is how I'm able to have just one cable going to my iPad up here, is because everything runs to the hub and the hub runs to the iPad. Something that's always next to my desk is actually my Magic Keyboard case for my iPad. I keep that nearby in case I need to go somewhere around the house to keep working. I just always have it at the side of my desk, right there. Oh, one more piece of gear that I missed is actually right here on the desk, my audio interface. It's the M Audio Mobile Pre. Somebody actually pointed this out to me in one of my videos, and they said, isn't that like the old M Audio interface? How is it still supported? And the answer to that question is, it's a class compliant interface. So you can use any interface with your iPad that is class compliant. This interface is actually so outdated that it doesn't work well with laptops anymore because there's no longer any driver support, but it's class compliant. It works great with iPad. Moving on is actually keep my lights all on one remote. So I've got several lights here, on, off, on, off. And my whiteboard. This whiteboard, I would normally write out my plan for the day, write out my video plans and my unfinished videos. I haven't done any of that yet, but that's what the plan is for this board. I need to start getting it more use. But that's pretty much it. That is the updated studio. I will link as much gear as I can down in the description. Everything that's available, you'll find it down there. Let me know if you have any questions about the gear that I talked about in this video, any recommendations that you want me to take a look at for this channel for review. And until next time, go make something dope, and I'll see you in the next video.